got my knee pads on. I'm ready to go in and talk to my boss about a raise. We're doing smaller sections because the cuts are so uneven. Whoever cut this floor out didn't cut it perfectly straight. So it's going to be easier to handle in smaller sections, I think. I think what I'm going to do with this in here, I'm going to mark the floor. So this will go down and trim a little bit more up there. I think I got plenty here. I can still trim off. Makes sense because the floor goes like this, the board goes like this. Alright. Okay, I had to cut another section out. It was just a little soft still up here. So I'm going over to the next stud. I'm going to put that plug in there, and I think when I do that I'll be happy I did. I was afraid it was just going to be too much of an issue right there. Once I put the linoleum down, it'd probably show up. So that's where we are. Alrighty guys, today is an exciting day for the Skyline Skycat 264B. Yes, our project camper is coming along nicely. We had a special delivery today. Let me show you what we got. Rec Pro. Something from Rec Pro. What could it be? You know what it is. No, you don't really. It's the bathtub. We got the new tub in white. I'm going to order the sink and the surround next. Stuff's not cheap, but we're going to put a brand new tub in. We're about ready to do that. We got the floor done. Bathroom floor is all done. The living area floor still has a quarter of a section I got to do. But we're going to unbox this bad boy and take a look at it. Hope it's right. Hey, it's got a new thingamajig. What is that? It's a stopper. Oh man, that's fancy. Fancy dancy. Got the front center drain, not front, I guess just center drain like we need. Supposed to fit. We'll see. You know, the tub that was in there had a better setup for the drain, because you put the tub in, then the drain screws down and helps hold the tub down and sealed. This one's different. This one, let me turn you around. Wow, there you go. This one has the threads on the bottom of the drain right there, but so I guess I gotta actually turn the existing plumbing onto this one. I hope that's gonna work. Doesn't look the same, but I'm sure there will be components I can get to make it work. Let's go in the camper. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, we're in the bathroom. See, this is the piece that came off the other one. That screwed down through the tub and held it in. It's got this gasket here. I might have to reuse that gasket. But on the drain, it's got a gasket on it. Okay, so that whole thing will spin. Okay, good. So I'll just turn this and tighten it up on the tub. I'll clean these gaskets up and put some treatment on them. But I'm getting ready to secure that base down, and I'll be ready to put the tub in and close all this off. Coming along. All right, so what I did here, this little stack of wood blocks I got to put back underneath the bathtub for support, I just used my spray foam to act as an adhesive, or to at least lock it into place so it doesn't move. And that's what the factory did, and that's the only reason I'm doing it, because they did it, so it looked like a good idea. I will tell you what I learned. You see here where I'm putting it on top of that block? And then I place this one on top of it and kind of squish it down in there. Well, as it dried, it lifted that block. I didn't even think about that. So it raised my tub. So I had to redo it. So just lesson learned, when you do this, stack them, or whatever you're putting the adhesive, the spray foam on for adhesive, make sure you put a considerable amount of weight on it to squish that stuff out so it's a thin layer and it won't lift up. Does that make sense? Kind of talking around, but anyway, so I did this to put it back at the factory height there to match up with my drain, and then I just spray some around it to give it a little bit more stability there. Probably didn't have to do as much as I did, a little bit overkill, but that's what I did. We're going with it. You can see there I got it all sprayed around there, and it didn't take real long for that stuff to dry. Not even 30 minutes later. Look at that, she's solid. I'm going to put some on top, put that old platform right there back down, then put the tub on top. We'll be in business. So then I grab the tub, I bring it in. I've already pre-fit the tub probably 2 or 3 times before I committed to actually installing it. But here I just lay it in there again on the platform. I've already put the platform down on those blocks. Those blocks actually go underneath the pedestal that the tub sits on. So I've already done that, and I've got it secured in place. Now I'm just making sure my tub lines up with the drain, which it does. It lined up really well. When I ordered the tub, I ordered the size that came out with the drain in the position that it was supposed to be. But when I did it, I had to put in the camper that it was going in. So I guess if it wasn't the one for the camper, it would have been a red flag and they would have probably contacted me. But anyway, this tub goes in really well. It's much more durable than the tub that came out, which I'm happy about. And of course we're going with white, but you can see my pedestal down there. And I take a little more spray foam and I put on top of that pedestal just to help keep that tub from moving around at all. Probably didn't need it, but you can see the remnants of old spray foam there where the old tub was on. So that's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm just trying to duplicate the factory install best I can. And again, you see how squished out the old foam is there? This stuff will raise the tub. So it started to do it because I wasn't prepared when I put this in to work as fast as I had to work. But here you can see I've got the tub laid in there, and I'm just making sure it's snug, making sure my drain lines up here. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking through the little access panel there, and it's got 2 different sets of threads. One threads up to the tub itself, and the other one threads to the trap. So I'm making sure they're tight, getting all that snug down, and I start to realize I need to pick up the pace a little bit because my spray foam is actively swelling in there. So after I get the drain threaded on nice and tight and pulled down, I'm just making sure that it's pushed down on my spray foam really good and it's against the wall. It's in all the corners because when the shower surround comes down, it's going to have to be as flush to the wall as it can be. And you can see it moving to the wall there, which I get it. Then I start to think, well, I need to probably put some weight in this tub. So I'm thinking, well, I guess I'll just climb over in there and put my own body weight in there and try to hold it down. And while I'm in there, I do some more adjusting. I just was not prepared because I did not really know what I'm doing. I'm just, shooting from the hip. But I learned a lot with this bathroom tub install. A lot of things I would do differently. Nothing I did was wrong or whatever, but there was an easier way to do it that I learned. So here I'm just putting a couple of screws through it to hold it in position uh, while it sets up. And there you go. I'm just adjusting it a little bit more, but we put these screws in there to hold it in position so while the spray foam does its thing, the tub won't move anymore. So then I decide I'm going to climb back in this tub because it's just not setting up in the position I want it to. So I'm trying not to have, another oh shit moment. I'm getting close to that, thinking I'm going to pull this out and start over. And I'm thinking, I turned around and checking it out, thinking, well, it looks like there's a couple of the push pins. So I decide, let me give you a little butt shot right here. There you go. You're welcome. Yep, there's no extra charge for that. That'll get me some views. So I get my little saw, and I forget my little utility saw I call it. But there's a couple of push pin legs still in there pushing the tub odd. So I just get in there and I cut them out. Once I cut those remnants of the pins out, the tub immediately was relieved and set right back into place. So I'm just making sure she's sitting down good here. Okay, I put the screw through the stud of that push pin because I had to cut them off to get the shower surround out. And then I can just wiggle it like this, and it looks like it's coming out. These things are in there, man. So I'm gonna have to get new, there we go, look at that. I'm gonna have to get new push pins when I get my new shower surround. Probably don't want to reuse those holes. I don't know if I'm just gonna glue the new one in and hope it works. Maybe I'll put a few retaining clips in, who knows. But anyway, that's the trick of getting them out. I've only got about 427 more to do. The time has come to find this water leak, or leaks I might say. Megan is going to stay inside the camper. I'm going to go outside with the water hose and spray around the slide seal and see if we can't get some water coming in. Okay, so we sprayed water on this bottom part. No water inside. Sprayed it right here. It's leaking. So now I'm going to go up higher, see if it's coming in up there. We found her. Whoop, yep, she's pounding. Is it leaking? Yeah. All right, she's leaking. Well, so we know it's this slide seal here. Oh, we're going to try this end now. Leaking? Yeah. Oh. So right in here, if you can see very well, you can see the water coming down the black gasket right there. So it's leaking all down this side. It's coming in right there. That's why it was so rotten right there. Alrighty guys, this is where we are as of today. It's the middle of June. Today we're going to finish sanding some spots in the floor and getting the primer down and clean this place up. And if you remember, let me get some lights on in here. Yeah, we got the bathtub in. It's all in and glued down. It was a bit of a struggle because that was my fault. But I learned so much putting this tub in. The next one's going to be a breeze. So we'll get that done. I cannot finish the floor right here until I adjust the slide. The slide is really off, and I think that's I know that's what's caused the major leaking, is the slide is down on this side, so it's really scraping the floor coming in and out right there. It's not even enough room to get the flooring underneath of it, so I got to raise that corner up, and then we got to tighten it up so when it comes in it gets a tighter seal. So that's where we're going to start when we start adjusting that. Don't know if I'm going to get to that today. My goal today is to get all this floor here, and there's a spot or two up here in the bedroom area that I need to prime. And the only reason I'm sanding, I'm just scuffing over the top with the sander. There's a couple fibers in this OSB that are poking up, and I want to knock them down because they'll show up in the vinyl, may even damage the vinyl, I don't know. But one thing I got this plastic wood, and this I'm going to use like over top of my screws where they've sunk down in. I don't want there to be any indentions. And then like my great cutting skills, I've got like a little gap here. I'm going to fill all that in with this stuff so that it's a level floor for when I put down the vinyl. But I'm really making some progress today. Get all this cleaned up, everything off counters, everything cleaned up. So it's a cleaner environment in here. Then I might go ahead and cut that piece of floor and just put it aside. So when I do get the slide adjusted, I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But that's where we are today. And I'm not doing any more day 1, 2, 3 videos because my days started running together. It's a lot of different things I'm doing in here, and it all just starts to run together. So I'm just going to do the videos as I do them. No specific day video and that type of thing. Here's the bed area. It's still a mess. Got everything piled up in here. But progress is being made. Hoping to get the inside done here in the next couple of weeks. At least by 1st of July, we should have it done. It's difficult because I work a lot, so I've only got one day off a week to dedicate to this project. And then I got to move to the outside and get the front cap done. Anyway, let's get started on today. Okay, so I totally underestimated how much wood filler I would need. I've got to go back and get some more. But it looks like it's going to work pretty well. It's just like putting Bondo, automotive Bondo, body shop Bondo on the panel. It smooths out and then you just sand it down. Because I got a couple big cracks I'm trying to fill, and that's all on my lack of carpentry skills. That's okay. But when it's the finished product is what counts. It'll be good. Got everything primed up and just waiting on this other stuff to dry. I'm going to scuff it down. I think I need to go on out there and see if I can work. Oh, here comes the rain. All right. Hopefully I'm going to go out there and work on the slide adjustment. We'll see. I'm going to let this rain pass. And if it passes, I'll get back with y'all and we'll do some slide adjustment. Okay. I tried to do some slide adjustments. Long story short, I was adjusting it all wrong. So on the slide out, where these screws are that push the slide up, they don't lift the whole slide. They will tilt the slide in when you go up, and when you lower it, it tilts the slide out. So it just makes it a tighter seal on the inside. When the slide goes out, you can tighten it up that way if it needs it from the top or bottom like this. You do have your big I guess it's like a push rod that pushes the slide in and out. We can adjust that to tighten the slide up to fix the water leaks. We did find out that the slide seals are leaking really bad, so the slide just needs to be pulled in tighter, which we can do that. That's an easy adjustment. So that's where we are on that. So I spent quite a bit of time adjusting the slide just to go right back to where we started from. So that's that on the slide adjustment. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Till the next video, peace out.